black man, everybody feels downtrodden, everybody feels beat up, everybody feels misunderstood, and everybody at the end of the day just wants to be loved. But we're so afraid of each other. We're so afraid of putting down our walls and letting everything down and starting to genuinely say, hey, this is what I need. This is what hurt me. This is where I'm insecure about. I don't feel great about myself in this area, so that we could start healing each other and starting to look at each other in a different light, so that that woman can say, you know what, this is my man. He's a wonderful provider. He's not perfect. You know, he does a lot of things I don't like, but this man gets up every day. He goes out, he tries his hardest, and he comes home and he treats me beautifully, and he treats me like a queen, and he really, really loves me. And I'm going to do everything I can within my power to make this work. And I'm not perfect either. You know, I don't like to cook. And I can't I can cook very well. My mom cooked, you know, like that smell coming down the street, that was my mama's house. My mama could throw down, and I had that family, but like in my lifestyle, I do love to cook, but it's like this special thing, and I choose this meal that I want, and I go get the salmon and the chicken. As a single girl, that fabulous meal can last me a couple of weeks. I rotate the chicken on it here, I make chicken salad, I boil some eggs and chop up some, but you know, tomatoes to go with it, some avocados, and then by the time it's just a little bit, I make tacos. You know, hilarious. I kept my dishes minimal. You know, I have this lifestyle, but you know what? When you're with someone else, you know, it can be an adjustment as to how to fit that role. But if you guys have some kind of predetermined agreement about, hey, I'm going to provide this, and I say, look, I'm going to get a couple of really great quality frozen meals, and I'm going to mix them in with some fresh stuff. And then a couple of times a week, I'm going to cook from scratch. I just don't let you know. You know what I'm saying? And all that together,
you make potatoes out the box?
You know?
Oh, I was going to say,
we just don't have potatoes that day. I'm not going to kill you. Right. If I have to stop at the market and pick up some fresh food from the fresh food counter, then that's what I'll do.
That's hilarious.
But I'm not gonna kill you with no processed foods.
Okay.
You know, it's a way you can do it. It's a way it can be done. But everybody has to start trusting one another, and I think the men, if you want to lead as a man, you got to be a freaking leader. It just can't work both ways. You can't expect a woman to take the reins, and then when you feel like stepping up, say, oh, but I'm the leader of the house, and you're not like paying the bills and stuff.
Listen, I don't think, you said not paying the bills, and I think that's one of the things where women really chomp down on a man's self-esteem, is when you throw in his face that you're a better provider, you make more money, you call more shots. And I think
it's not throwing it in their face. It's not throwing it in your face. It's just
it shouldn't even be mentioned.
Yes, it's some.
But even if it's not mentioned, the guy will bring it up.
I mean, but how do you not mention it?
That's a lack of communication.
And it should be on both people's part. Baby, you're not cooking enough.
If we say, we're gonna go 50-50 on the bills, if that's what you decide, I'm gonna pay half the mortgage, you're gonna pay half the mortgage, or I'm gonna get the light bill, you're gonna get whatever the situation may be. That's something that you both agree with. The woman feels comfortable with it, and the man feels comfortable.
No woman in my family ever paid a mortgage.
You know,
I can't even imagine.
I don't disagree with that, but the fact of the matter is so many people are coming from a different paradigm where the women want to have these two-income households, and they want to, you know, like I have a friend and she's getting married, and she was like, you know, I'm going to definitely chip in on the mortgage, because if I don't help pay for it, you know, there'll never be a time when he could be able to look at me and say, well, I pay all the bills around here.
So your relationship is mucked up from the start. That's the trust that you were just talking about.
That's a choice that you're choosing to make.
You have to walk into it trusting, and she's not.
But you know what? That's what it is now. That's how
but that's
people
why
are
people
feeling.
think that those roles have been diminished, that they don't exist anymore. When Donald proposed to me, I said, first of all, I said, hell yes. And then the second thing I said is, I cannot wait until we get married. I'm so tired of carrying the burdens around and being a black woman. I'm sick of paying these bills. I'm sick of having to worry about things. I'm sick of all this stress of being. I want to just give it to you and support you and cook your meals and wash your clothes and allow you to penetrate me. And all of this stuff.
When you gave him that burden, you fully expect that he gonna carry it. And I start throwing stuff on the floor a little bit at a time because he felt like it was getting a little too heavy. And start throwing some stuff back at you like, well, these.
But I think that there are leaders out there, and I believe that. When you say a woman can't raise a man, no, she can't raise a man. But there are women who have put wonderful men into this world. I mean, I keep bragging on Donald. I love him to death. But Donald was in a single. He was the youngest of 7 children, and his father died when he was very young, and he didn't even really know his father. But his mother raised a hell of a man, and I thank her for that all the time. It is possible to raise a good person. When you know better, you do better, and when you know there's a better, you can be a better man. You strive to be that better man. A man might not have to teach you. You have to seek that. I mean, I still am a very rough around the edge type of woman. My mouth is foul. I don't clean. I cook the hell out of food. I'm not a good housekeeper, so don't come to my house.
Everybody.
I'm like Martha Stewart. I love all that. I want to fold your drawers. I love all of that.
Right, I'm not a good housekeeper, but I mean, he's good with that. You understand? And I think it's just kind of like a mess. They are good like I said, when I was rough around the edges, I was 24 or 5 years old, and I met my friend Michelle. And Michelle was this very refined, she's been to college, and she was just so well-rounded type of person. And she would look at me and be like, girl, it's crazy. If you don't shave your legs, why ain't your legs shaved? And I'm like, what is she talking about? You understand what I'm saying? Even as an adult.
That's generational too.
You can learn from other people. So when a man just like Donald said, when he decided he wanted to marry me, he said, I knew what I had to do to get you to marry. I know what I had to change about myself to get you to marry me. And when a man is ready for that, he will make the necessary changes for the woman that he wants to make his wife. So we can't say that there are no good men out there, because if a man meets you and you say, I need this, that, and the other, and he said, I want to be with Suzette more than any person in the world, then he will be your provider. He will be your best friend. He will do all that. He will be your penetrator, your protector, and your provider. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So the roles are not gone, but you just have to.
The people are gone from the roles.
And fish in another barrel.
And that goes back to kind of women knowing what they want to, having some little bit of standard for themselves. Because wait for the guy who is the guy who loves you,
which is why I'm saying.
Wait for the one who's gonna say, you know what, I may not be everything that I believe this woman deserves, but I'm gonna work my hardest at becoming that man because I want that woman. Period.
But you know what's really
that guy, you will have a totally different arrangement with that man than you will with the man who you was chasing.
One of my really good male friends, who I think is on the men's panel this year, he advised me to be a lesbian. He said, just go ahead, Suzette. They're not out here. He even went so far to say to me, he was like, I don't even know a guy that I would introduce you to. Because all of my friends ain't shit, all of the men I know ain't shit. He was like, oh,
what's that say about him?
And that's what I said, because I was like,
I get that a lot from guys. No, I don't know the guy I introduced you to, yes, that's because you want me for yourself.
Oh, and that's not the case with him. Like, we're really good friends. But he said, like, Suzette, I know your door swings both ways, just shut that one door.
Wait a minute. Wow. You know, I'm all about
I haven't shut it.
I'm all about walking. You had to walk in the other door because you saw some daisies in the field and you wanted to go check them out. You walk on over there and check out them daisies.
And you realize that
Venture Rod Studios in 1906 and a half, South Halsted here in Chicago.
If you've ever dreamed of becoming an entrepreneur and don't know where to start, The Entrepreneur Within You by Julie Holloway is a must-read. Holloway and 17 co-authors share advice and inspiration that can save you from serious business blunders. So purchase your copy today on Amazon.com, or barnesandnoble.com. The entrepreneur within you. Empowering, equipping, inspiring.
Don't go run your ass over.
Those are saying like, bitch, get back over here.
Don't go in there and just close the door because you think ain't nothing ever behind that door.
No, and because people ask me all of the time, like since my last relationship, Suzette, who are you looking for, a man or a woman? I said, I'm looking for love.
For love.
So whichever way it shows up is how I'm open to that. So I completely have not cut off black men, but I just want, and black men in particular, like I don't, if I'm dating a man, I don't want any other man. I want a black man. I like black men. I think that's my equal counterpart. Right. But I need him to be.
I like what April, what you were saying about holding a space. You know what I'm saying? Just holding the space that there is that person for me. You know what I'm saying? And instead of in your heart having it so closed off, then everybody who you meet, you kind of rejected them before you have even gotten a chance to know them, because you don't have that space available in your heart and in your psyche to meet that guy who's going to be like that. And that guy might not have been like that with this person, but it might be something about him and you that makes him that person.
Yeah,
if you hold that space, you know what? There's a great black guy out there for me who's going to treat me good, who's going to take care of me, who's going to be a great father to my children, and who's going to work with me, be my partner, be my best friend, and so we can build a family, so we can build a life together. I'm going to hold that space, and in the meantime, I'm going to live my life and be the best me possible and have the most amazing fun. And you know, women, I mean, we get so caught up in the man part, and it's an important part, because there is a feeling of completion and an expression that a woman gets from being with that certain somebody. It makes you feel like, and this is the rest of the reason why I'm a woman. Yeah. You know, but it does. Right. You know, so let's not even go there on some old, you know, we don't need to get out there and have a life. Okay, you know, what you need and what you want are two different things. And I do think that completion is needed often.
I agree.
But in the meantime,
but you know, there's a lot of women that will argue you down.
Yes, they will.
Complete.
Yes, they will.
I use the word complete, and everybody says, no, you should be complete before. But those are single women who don't really understand that whole feeling of
everything is relationship. Your friends, your family.
It anchors you.
You know,
It anchors
people in your life. You need all those different aunties, cousins, girlfriends, your best friend. You need all those different relationships, so you can experience all those different great parts of yourself that you get to experience only when you're with your cousin, or only when you're with your friend from first grade, or only when you're with your mom, or your grandma, or your boyfriend.
You can have all of that, but when you have that right man in your life, that balance and peace that comes over, it just puts all of that in perspective.
Which is what I think Tracy was describing when she was proposed to. She was like, "Oh, thank you, Lord!" Like it was a balance.
It created a balance. It was kind of like I just want to be a wife. I want to be somebody's counterpart. He tells y'all
his help meet.
Right. I
going back to the religion. I help meet.
Right.
Not the help.
I just always thought. I asked my mother. My mother's 71 and she's married twice, and she's a miserable lady now. And I said, "Mommy, do you ever think that you would be, you know, are you happy with being single? That more than likely you're gonna die, you know, single. Are you happy with that?" And she's so bitter. And she, and I mean, she's 71. It's not impossible. I mean, you know,
it's not
likely, but it's not impossible. And she looked at me and she says, "If I knew then what I know now, the mistakes that I made, and the men that I have messed over and destroyed emotionally, I would be married now." She said that she was thinking in the now, that her mother, that my grandmother married men just for providing purposes. You know, she would work one to death, he would die, and then a month later she'd be married again. I mean, that was my grandmother. She was married 4 times, you know. And my mother she always thought that I was so cruel to my grandmother, and she wanted to do the complete opposite, and with doing the complete opposite, she kind of ripped her ass.
See, I think that's a mistake we always make, is we see someone make a mistake and we do a complete 180.
Yeah.
Like, we might just need to do a 90.
Be like,
scared me. The fact that I did not want to be old and alone. If I was old and my husband was old with me and he passed away, I can at least live off that love that I had. It makes you feel complete when you feel like you have found your life's partner. That person was made for you. That was the plan. When his mama pushed him out, you're like, you are Tracy's. 19 years from now, you're gonna be in the elevator and boom. And it makes you feel
Tracy's man.
Exactly. So I just really want women to just put down. So stop being so angry. Stop being so defensive, and just allow a man to show you who he is. Give you the opportunity to opt in or to opt out, to invest or digress. And when we do that, when we meet each other, dating is dating. We don't date anymore.
Yeah, what is that?
No. What happened to it?
I believe in God. 1991.
When I was dating who became my husband, we went out for maybe 2-3 months before he ever kissed me. I mean, and it was 2-3 days a week. We were at the show, we were picnicking, he was sending me for pedicures, we were at the movies, we were dating. And when he kissed me, I knew that he had an intention for me. And that was really powerful. And I think that, I've said to my girlfriends, like, even like guys now, like, you sleep on the first date? No, like, don't even kiss me on the first date. Like, get to know me. Know if you want to go that way with me in that way. And I think that's important. And we've totally, completely lost that. There is no more courtship. There is no more getting to know someone. You're fucking on the first date. You don't even know.
And back in the courting, like, you weren't gonna court somebody if you weren't serious. So the men are like complaining about spending money. Well, stop dating everybody then. If she's not worth the cost of movies and a dinner, if that's too much money to spend on her, don't waste your time with that trip. I mean,
you don't even have to spend money on a date. Like, 2 days
really
you can are free.
You have to.
You can go to a bookstore and have a cup.
And my food, that's how my food started off taking me to the preview sim day. I was like, okay, boo, because you be thinking ahead of time.
You get major points for that.
That's a really good relationship. The guy was so creative. I want to say, like, our first 4 dates were all free. We went to different festivals, or we go to, say Lincoln Town Car is sponsoring it, a free concert with Carl Thomas. So we go there, get free drinks, a whole night. It's about being creative.
Exactly.
Putting some planning and some thought into courting this girl.
Exactly.
And it was the same thing, he just, was hands off, and we spent all this time together before he even kissed me. Because I knew that he had an intention.
Exactly.
And for the men out there, if you're tired of getting the same old kind of women, then maybe if you court a woman a little bit differently and be more selective about the type of woman you're courting and how you want to spend your paper or your time and your investment, then maybe you start getting different types of women and stop attracting the same kinds of women and problems and scenarios that you're getting on all these little floozies.
Stop finding your girlfriend at the factory. They ain't there. They don't pick it in there. Your wife ain't at the factory.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Factory.
I might meet you there, sure. Might beat you there, man.
Don't go with tantrum looking for your baby mama and your wife. But put your post. If you're not happy with the selection of women that you're coming across, as I just said, put your pole in another barrel.
Fish in another pond.
Fish in another pond.
Yes, so we can all start eradicating that all black women are fill in the blank.
Right. Right.
Thank you.
Man, we just want you to step up.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with that. If you are meeting the wrong women, you need to go somewhere else.
Right.
And they, one of the things that I hate is that I feel like they stereotype and generalize. It's way too much.
A lot.
It's like they meet one woman, they meet you dog them out. Then they see me like,
right.
Just like that.
Men can get down one time.
And then oh my God, it never.
You laugh like how she laughs.
No, you just like her. Ooh, I hate that.
She used to do that
generalization,
too.
man. Lord, I fell victim to that many times. I know how you are. How you don't even know know my name.
Right.
How you know who I am? Please.